Wilder, Joshua. Will we ever see it happen?
Hopefully. I hope so. I'm praying on it, just like everyone else. But the business aspect of boxing can be extremely disappointing at times. And to come across, we're at a standpoint now, it look like a lot of promises have been made that aren't being kept. And Deontay is training 3-4 days out the week. I'm sure Joshua's doing something. Both of these guys are at the point where they want to fight each other. But the most frustrating part about the business, about boxing, is the business, and that's what's holding everything up right now.
Mm-hmm. What's your take on Joshua? Where is he at right now, Malik? I know he's not your fighter, but it won't stop you commenting. So what do you think of him?
I think he's a very, very good fighter. I think he's becoming underrated by a lot of his peers, not really a lot of people on my side. My whole thing with AJ have been, before I even trained Deontay, I think stylistically, he overcommits, and if you look at any time he's been hurt, it's because he reaches over his front knee with his chin slightly up when he boxes. That has been changed a little bit since he's been being trained by Derek James. But I still think all you got to do is want to punch at Deontay, which he will, and when he reach and overcommit, he'll pay like he never paid before. And in my opinion, it's a 3-4 round fight.
He'll pay like he's never paid before. A 3 or 4 round fight,
in my opinion,
in favor of your man,
Deontay
It's
Wilder.
a shootout.
It's definitely
it's a shootout.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be anything else, is it? I mean, it's interesting that you say that he overcommits, because I think the accusation of Anthony now is that he stays out of range.
Yeah, that's Derek James, and that's the mentality that Andy Ruiz made him have.
Yeah,
absolutely,
Malik,
absolutely.
Could Joshua knock Wilder out?
Yeah, he's a big heavyweight.
Absolutely.
Like, he has a punch. I can't see. I don't know. And then where he's been at, in my opinion, I wasn't impressed with the Rob Helenius fight. I was impressed with the knockout. Yay, after 7-8 rounds, and it was okay. Like, but
but that's not fair, because your guy came to fight. Helenius came to fight your guy, and so your guy nailed him early. And Helenius didn't come to fight.
Yes, he did. In the first 10 seconds, he came
he?
right out and hit Joshua, I think, with a right hook around the guard. He didn't come out in flight. He was standing still.
And then he stayed out of range.
Yeah. I wasn't going to say that part, but he did stay out of range. I didn't know you seen it.
I mean, Kate, Wilder, Joshua, does the prospect of that excite you? Is it something you'd love to present, a show like that?
Oh, heck yes. Mm-hmm. I mean, I love hosting the fights. I love hosting the big fights. I think there's nothing like it. I mean, I've been at Champions League finals, World Cup finals like you, right? And that's incredible. But to me, there's nothing like a big fight. The anticipation, the kind of the emotional journey that you go on through those 12 rounds or however many it for is just, it's different. I would love for that fight to happen.
What's the appeal of Joshua, Malik, in the States? What's the perception of him?
He's a big guy that can fight. He got too many muscles for. It seemed like stateside everybody talk about his build more than he talk about his skill set. In my opinion, Joshua put together punches more than any heavyweight in the last 10, 15 years, in my opinion. I mean, combinations. He put punches together very well, but at the same time, there's mental lapse that have happened.
More than Usyk?
Yeah, way more than because Usyk, I'll give Usyk a reason that he's throwing 4 or 5, 6 punches coming in. It's because we can say, well, he's a smaller guy. I'm talking about with AJ's built, with his size and that heaviness that he carry. I've seen him put together punches better than, like, you could say, like how early Mike Tyson would put together shots, like something like that.
Not so much now, though, right?
Yes, it's not so much. Yeah. No.
Malik, it's a tough question, but I want to ask you, where is Wilder standing after that defeat, the third time they met, Fury and him? What, again, in terms of elite fighters, what's the perception of your guy? Is he right up there?
What I think of Deontay Wilder?
Yeah, with some of the very best.
I think in any era, Deontay Wilder would, if he wouldn't have reigned supreme, his presence would have been felt by, and I'm talking about Ali's, Foreman, everybody. I believe he would have been a force to be reckoned with during any era. I believe the same thing about Tyson Fury. I'm not that sure about too many of the other guys. Like, I'm just not. I think Alexander Usyk also. Usyk to me is a lot better than he gets credit for. Yeah.
I want to ask you this: you fought. You're not coach, I'm trainer. You fought Wilder. What's it like to be in the wrong end of his power?
It felt like I was on the wrong end of his power. And the real funny part about that is before I fought Deontay with 10 ounces on, I felt him with 20 ounces on. And when I felt him with 20 ounces on, before that, I left Tyson Fury's camp and basically flew to Deontay Wilder's camp, so I knew the difference of the power immediately. Because we'll say I was boxing Fury Tuesday, by next Tuesday I was in with Deontay. And his power with 20-ounce gloves on, it reminded me of just like a combined force of Lennox Lewis and Vladimir Klitschko's together, striking and thudding. It would be equivalent to Mike Tyson and George Foreman's power if you put it together. Tyson, to me, was very rapid. George was very imposing and thudding. And when you put that together, I think you have the blessing and the gifted power of Deontay Wilder.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yet Tyson Fury gets up.
Absolutely. Now, that's a man's man. Yeah, you got to give it to him. Like, it's like, if you look at any of the build-ups, even though I felt Deontay would knock Fury out, and I still do if they fought a fourth time, right? But I always said Fury is special. I'm not one of these trainers just, I'm not detached from the reality of whatever it is, the opposition we're facing.
Yeah.
I think that's what give you an advantage in this no bar. You have to know who you're facing. You have to be humble and have tons of humility, and you just take on whatever task get brought your way.